Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the part of the world you are watching from. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you have been enjoying my videos thus far. Today we are starting our lecture on Introduction to Marketing. This is supposed to have been our first lecture per se, but due to the structure of the semester, it is now coming in as the third lecture for the semester, okay? Let us go on. As usual, I am your tutor for this course, and I am Mr. Bennett Iloka. In case you have any inquiry or question, do always feel free to comment under the video. You can also contact me directly. Okay. Today we are starting our lecture on Introduction to Internet Marketing, which is a key course for any marketing professional, for any marketing student, for anybody that is majoring in marketing. Introduction to marketing lays the necessary foundation for the student or professional to acquaint him or herself with the basic concepts that are necessary towards progressing into the marketing profession. Okay, so today we start our lecture with the question: is there any world without marketing? The answer is no, because no company can survive or sustainably function without marketing. Marketing is key. Marketing is very, very important for the survival of any organization. It doesn't matter whether it is a for-profit organization or an NGO. No matter the structure of the company or the sector it functions in, marketing is very, very critical, and it is an essential element for the overall sustainability, survival, performance, profitability of any company. Okay, this is because all companies continuously seek success, but attaining it is the product of many factors. There are many factors that influence whether a company will succeed or not. It includes the strategy they adopt, the dedication of their employees, the information system they use to run their business. Is it a standard? Is it an updated? Is it a well-informed system? Excellence of implementation of their strategies, and so many other factors. The marketing environment, the government policies, a whole lot of factors impact overall sustainability of the marketing of any company. Okay. However, in today's successful corporations, one thing that is common among all of them is the fact that they are all focused on the customers, and they are also marketing oriented. All successful companies of today, their main focus is on the customers. If you download an app today, if there is a bug or an issue, by the time you wake up tomorrow, you could see that it has been fixed, and you'll be required to update your app, because the company is focused on making sure that the customers are satisfied with their product or services. Okay, by that focus alone, it implies that they consider marketing to be integral for their overall sustainability, because marketing deals entirely with delivering value to the customers through your product or service. It is only when you're able to deliver this value that the customers will now reply with exchange in terms of the money they are going to pay for the service or product that you are offering to them. Okay, so marketing, more than any other business function, deals with customers. It is all about the customers. It is all about how the company will be able to make the customers happy. When the customer is happy, when the customer is satisfied, the customer will come back. The customer will recommend your product or services to others. The customer will have a positive view, positive word of mouth about your product or your service. And the overall impact of this continuous repurchase, recommendation, and positive word of mouth is that you will continue to make sales. If customers stop coming, then definitely you can't be making sales. It is when they continue returning to your business, when they continue returning to your company, that you'll be able to continue making sales. That is why focusing on the customer is very, very important. And this is the main core element of marketing. The main foundation of marketing is all about how a company can satisfy the customer. Okay, so before you can proceed further, it is imperative that we also understand, or at least consider, what marketing is all about. It has been defined as a social and managerial process by which individuals and groups obtain what they need and want through creating and exchanging products and services that have value with each other. Okay, are you getting the point? So two individuals want something from the other. One is the marketer who wants monetary value from the customer. Second is the customer who wants product or service value from the marketer. So two of them come together to exchange this product value and monetary value with each other, whereby the marketer is giving the customer what they want or need, and then the customer is paying for that service or product that is being offered or delivered by the marketer. Are you getting the point? Okay, so in general sense, that is what marketing is all about. However, the American Marketing Association offered or opined or provided a more sound and encompassing definition of marketing. According to their own definition, marketing is the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, 1, communicating, 2, delivering, 3, and exchanging values for the customers, clients, partners, and the society at large. You can see that based on this definition, there are 5 core elements. First, you create, then you communicate, then you deliver, then you exchange. And the entire process, it is all about the value. What will the customers benefit from the product or service that you are selling? So these are the core elements or core concepts that define or determine what marketing is all about. It starts with creation. How do you create what the customers will buy? First, you have to conduct research to know what they actually need and want. And based on your findings, based on your research findings, you will now be able to create a product or service that meets their exact need. So you can see that this definition is all encompassing, and that is what we are going to adopt for this course, because it includes every element, tools, channels, and overall objective of marketing as a function and as an institution. Okay, so throughout this course, we are going to consider marketing as the activity, set of institutions, activity, what the marketer does, set of institutions, where the marketer operates from, processes, the measures, the steps that the marketers goes through, okay, to create a product or service, and then communicate the availability of that product or service to the customer through awareness functions like promotion, direct sale, roadshows, so on and so forth. And then once that is done, the customers will make order. Then the marketer also does the function of delivering, making sure that the product service are available to the customer where they can easily access them. If you have a good product that is in your company, but the customers cannot access them, then definitely you cannot make sales. It is when the customers are able to access this product that you can start thinking about making sales. Are you getting the point? Then once you have delivered the product or service where the customers can access them, you have to also find a way to exchange that product or service with the customers. You have to convince them, you have to persuade them, you have to remind them, you have to encourage them to buy that product or service from you and then give you money in return. You should also know that based on the economic principle, production is not complete until the final goods has reached to the final consumers, irrespective of how good the product is or the nature of the market. For a production to be complete, the customers must have exchanged money or accepted to adopt, to use, to utilize, to consume that your product or service. That is the point when production becomes complete. But it doesn't end there. We now have what we call societal marketing, which we are also going to look into as we proceed, which tells us that we must move beyond just exchanging the products and service with the customer. We must also be able to service these customers after sales. If their product or service has an issue, we must be there and available to help them to solve such issues. Are you getting the point? Okay, let us move on. Now, we dive into the components of marketing. First, we start with need. Need, in a nutshell, is a state of felt deprivation. So you are hungry, that is need. It is inherent, it is inbuilt, you can't control it, it is biological, it comes with you. Once you are hungry, you are hungry. There is nothing you can do to make you, to stop you from being hungry, except if you consume food that will replenish the energy you are lacking, which is the foundation of the hunger. Okay, so need is a state of felt deprivation. Okay, you are man enough, you feel you need a wife to complete yourself. Okay, you have attained certain level in the society, you feel you need a car to showcase your status. You are hungry. Okay, you need food to replenish the energy that you have vanquished. Okay, so it is not something that we can actually control. That is the key element you must understand about need. Then once you graduate, once you are able to provide the need for yourself, then you move to the next stage, which is want. Want is human need as formed by cultural and individual personality. The need to associate within a certain group results to want. Okay, you want to be among those that drive a Mercedes, then you will want Mercedes as a car. Okay, you want to be considered one of the richest or to be viewed as man of stature in the society, then you will want certain things that the people from that category or status do. Maybe you definitely want to buy a house, you want to run for political positions, and so on and so forth. So once that need is formed by cultural and individual personality, it becomes a want, because it has now extended beyond the basic biological sphere to now what you as an individual want, or what you want the society to view about you. So you need food. You can go for rice, but in the process, you could want rice with chicken, and plantain and so on and so forth, maybe salad, just to make the rice rich. Okay, if you just eat rice, you will still be able to quench your hunger, but you want a plate of rice that is unique in its own, that then it has graduated from basic wants, basic needs, to now wants. Okay, so demand imply wants that are backed by buying power. Okay, so we continue with the case of rice. You want this special rice, but you are not able to prepare it by yourself. So once you proceed to KFC, you can now demand for Zinger burger, you can demand for chicken bucket, you can demand for KFC rice, and so on and so forth, because you have the money to pay for it. So need is basic and inherent. Want is shaped by culture and our personality. Then demand is want that is backed by purchasing power. You now have the money to buy it, then it becomes a demand. Are you getting the point? Okay, don't forget that you should always feel free to ask questions if you are not following, or if you experience any difficulty. Whatever comment or question you ask will definitely be answered. Okay, so we proceed further with the components of marketing. Then we are now considering product. What is a product? A product is anything that can be offered to the market for attention or consumption. Anything you can offer to the market for attention or consumption, which might be able to satisfy a need or want. Okay, it includes physical objects, services, persons, places, organizations, and their ideas. Anything that can be used to satisfy a need or want is a product. Why do we say that it's not just all within the sphere of physical objects? Because services are also products. This lecture now is a product in its sense, because it can be used to fulfill your need of understanding what marketing is all about. Are you getting the point? It is a service, but it's a product because it is able to satisfy your need. Places, tourism. You want to see beautiful nature, you want to see sea creatures, you go to Bali in Indonesia. That place is a product, because by going there, you'll be able to see nature the way you want to see it. You'll be able to feel nature the way you want to feel it. Are you getting the point? Organizations, UNICEF, they are also products, because when you donate, they use the money to take care of the children, okay, who have needs, and then ideas. Persons are also products, influencers, and so on and so forth. Okay. On the other hand, service is any activity or benefit that one party can offer to another that is essentially intangible. You can't touch it, like this lecture, and does not result in ownership of anything. You can hear my voice, you can understand the concept that we are discussing, but you cannot touch the lecture, and you don't own the lecture itself. Even if there's a license as to whether you can copy and share, it doesn't matter. But the speech that is coming out of my mouth cannot be owned by you. Okay, that is what we are trying to say here. Okay, let us proceed. We have value. Remember in the definition, we said that the essence of marketing is for the marketer to deliver value in the form of product or service to the customers, and then customers to deliver value in form of money in exchange for the product or service that the marketer is selling. Now we consider value here as consumers' assessment of the product's overall capacity to meet his or her need. So you are a marketer, you have manufactured your product, you have sold the product to the customers. The customer has used the product to satisfy his or her need. Then the value in essence is whether that product or service is able to meet the specific needs or wants that the customer bought it for. In that case, if it is able to reach or meet their specific needs, the customers will be satisfied. If it is not, then they will not be satisfied. When customers are satisfied, the potential for repurchase, recommendation, positive word of mouth, and so on and so forth is there. But when they are not satisfied, then you will have issue, or you will start having issues, because customers will only return when they feel that there is value in what you are giving to them. Okay, so let us take the case of the presidential election that was just concluded in Nigeria. Why did people troop out en masse to vote for Peter Obi? That is because they saw a value in him which they have not seen, or they don't see in other politicians or other people that are competing with him for the seat of the presidency. Okay, so once a customer is able to see a value in your product or service, then the potential for sales will be there, because they will pick interest in the product or service. Okay, satisfaction is the extent to which a product's perceived performance, the perceived performance of a product, meets the expectation of the customer. Remember in the conceptualization or definition or discussion of value, I told you that when the customer sees the product as having value, as meeting the value in terms of expectation, they will be satisfied. So now we are telling you that satisfaction is the extent to which a product or service, as perceived by the customer in terms of its performance, matches what they were expecting. So if a customer was expecting that your rice is going to be delicious, and then they came into your restaurant and ordered for rice, and you gave it to them, they enjoyed, and they found out that the rice is as they expected, then they will be satisfied. But if the rice is not as they expected, then they will not be satisfied, they will be dissatisfied. And you have to pay attention to the outcome of the entire process, because a dissatisfied customer will likely not come back. It is when a customer is satisfied that the person will likely come back to your restaurant. Are you getting the idea? Okay, so quality, on the other hand, begins with customers' needs and ends with satisfaction. Okay, they have a need which they came to you for, and then you're able to solve it through your product or service. They paid for that product or service. Then quality is measured as to whether they have been able to solve that need. If they have been able to solve that need, if the product or service which you gave to them is of value, and then they are satisfied after consumption, then your product or service is considered to be of quality. Else, the product or service is not of quality. Are you getting the point? So a product is of quality if at least it meets the expectations of the customers. Okay, if it exceeds, then it's of higher quality. If it doesn't meet, then it is of low quality or no quality. Are you getting the idea? Okay, so now we go to the concepts of exchange, transaction, and relationship marketing, based on our definition of marketing as opined by the American Association of American Marketers Association. Okay, we concluded the definition by saying that the value will now be exchanged between the customer and the marketer. The marketer is giving value in product or service, then the customer is giving value in terms of the money they are paying for the product or service. Okay, so here we now define value as the act of obtaining a desired object from someone by offering something in a return. So the marketer is offering product or service to the customer with the intention to obtain the monetary value from the customers, and then the customers are offering the money to the marketers with the intention to obtain, to use, to consume their product or service. Are you getting the idea? Okay, so transaction is the trading of values between two parties. When the marketer and the customer agree to exchange their product for money and money for product, then transaction occurs. Okay, but if they don't agree, then there is no transaction. Basically, that is what it implies. The relationship marketing is the process of recreating, maintaining, and enhancing strong value-laden relationship with customers and their other stakeholders. Okay, so a customer has purchased. Relationship marketing implies that you should inquire to know whether they enjoy the product they purchase from you. If not, what are the ways you can improve the product or service to make sure that they enjoy it? Because it is only when a customer is satisfied that the customer will come back. So relationship marketing calls on you to make sure that you go back to the customer to know whether they are satisfied about your product or service. If they are not, what can you do? How can you improve it to make sure that they are satisfied? Okay, so let us go on. Then we consider the final components of marketing, which are market and marketers. In a nutshell, a market is a set of present or actual buyers and potential or future buyers of a product or service. Okay, in a layman's language, market could be seen as the place people go to buy or exchange goods and services for money. No, but in the marketing profession, market is any customer that is presently using your product or service, or any customer that can potentially use your product or service. So you are a university. Markets are those that are enrolled in your university, and those that can potentially enroll, those in the secondary school or high school, those that can potentially enroll in your university, they are considered as your market. Okay, on the other hand, marketers are professionals who are in the business of offering value to the customer in exchange for monetary value from the customers. So any professional that is able to convince, as a marketer, you must be a professional that is able to convince the customers to give you money for the product or service that you are selling. That is what makes you a customer, a professional that is offering value in exchange for money from the customers. Okay, so with that said, we are now going to consider a simple marketing system. We have been able to define marketing as the set of institution activities which encompasses the process of creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging value with the customers. Okay, now we have considered the components, different components of marketing. Now we are going to see what a simple marketing system looks like. Based on the diagram you are seeing, okay, it starts from the company down to the consumers. You can see that the market is a collection of buyers, then industry is a collection of sellers. First, the industry has to go to the market, okay, to assess what they actually need or want, and then deliver a product or service that meets that need in the form of goods or services. Once that is done, they must communicate. You can see the arrow. They must communicate. They must go back to the customers and tell them, we now have a product that meets your need. Okay, so Coke Original, high sugar. But some customers want a Coke. They want to enjoy Coke that is either lower in sugar quantity or without sugar. Then you introduce Diet Coke, Zero Coke, soda cola, and so on and so forth. Once you are done, you must go back to the customers to tell them, we now have a product that meets your need. We now have a Coke that is still of the same taste, that is still of the same original taste, but without sugar. Are you getting the point? So communication is important. It is pivotal. It is the only way through which the customers will be able to know that you have a product or service that meets their exact need. Okay, once they accept your product or service, then they are going to give you money in exchange. Okay, the monetary value they are paying to you is to accept the products or service that you are offering and consume it. Okay, based on their experience about your product or service, they will now pass information whether they are satisfied with what you offer them or they are not. If they are satisfied, why are they satisfied? If they are not satisfied, why are they not satisfied? This is the point you must pay attention. Whatever the customer is telling you, try to listen to them to understand basically what they are saying, because it can determine whether or not they will purchase from you in the future. So a simple marketing system and is all about the flow of communication from company to the customer and the information from customer to the company, okay, whereby the company is communicating to the customer that it has products or services that meets their need. Then the customer is now accepting the product or service by buying it and exchanging that with money, okay. So that ends our lecture for today, and I do hope that you have been able to at least conceptualize what marketing is all about through the definitions we offered, okay. And then you can now at least discuss some of the components, which are need, want, demand, product, service, value, satisfaction, quality, exchange, transaction, relationship, market, and the marketers. And then you have seen what a simple marketing system looks like, in terms of the flow of information from customers to the company, and then communication from company to customers as it relates to their products and services. Then once the customers accept the product or service, they will pay for it. Then exchange occurs. The company is giving them product or service to satisfy their needs and wants. Then customers are giving the company money in value of the product or service that the company is offering them. Okay, with that said, in our next lecture, we are going to continue from marketing management. Thank you once more for joining this lecture. And if you still have questions, like we always say, do comment your questions below and be assured that we are going to answer all your questions. Don't forget to comment, like, and share this video so that at least others can join the classes and be able to get themselves acquainted with the discussions we are making. Thank you so much, and see you in our next class.